Cute, sexy, and fun. You're watching CSF Nation's own WMK TV, Channel 90. I realize that I'm probably one of the I realize I'm probably sorry, I'm getting my stuff together. I realize that I'm probably going to be the one of the few still talking about this situation because this situation is important to me. Actually, it's very important to me. I've explained it back on Monday's show why it's important to me, and I understand that something about this might be a bit polarizing for some. Some that might be, maybe not be interested to it, but I still want to talk about this because I know where this is heading if this remains silent. We know where this is heading if this remains silent. And this needs to be called out. So, all right. Good morning, CSF Nation. I'm Makini, 90R Sermon and Illustrator. Welcome you to the Wednesday edition of Makini in the Morning. And no, I am not going to stop talking about Collective Shout, nor this situation with Visa, with the payment processors, because we know where this is going, because this is the slippery slope fallacy right here, on display, because it will not stop with them. They will not stop. And a lot of people have to be I have to be resilient about it. I think seeing Madam Savvy's like back and forth all day yesterday with it has increased my resilience even more. And we're going to cover some of Madam Savvy's discussions and tweets about it too, because there's a lot more that surfaced between now and Monday's show. We also got two videos I want to cover from. Also got two videos we want to cover from one from V and I think one from Hypnotic. Going more into the ordeal, because there's actually more news on this topic, and especially behind the scenes with this organization. in case anybody's wondering, yes, I know about the V Shoujo situation. I've seen the videos yesterday. It is a huge deal. It is a huge thing right now. I know about what's going on with Pirate Software, Thor. What's going on with Pirate Software, caught in possibly another scandal where he's, kind of botting his own donations, basically. And with something going on with Stop Killing Games. So, yeah. But we got a lot to cover. And before we do that, let me give a shout out to Theo and the Dark Prince himself, Ozzy Osbourne. We lost two beloved people this week. And yeah, so I just want to offer my thoughts, prayers, and condolences to both the families of Malcolm Jamal Warner, of course, y'all know Theo from The Cosby Show, and of course, the Dark Prince himself, Ozzy Osbourne. So you guys have been freaking amazing. You will be remembered long after you left this earth. Both of you. You will be remembered for almost forever. So I hope forever. Forever. So. Yeah, it was sad to hear. And Mama Bear was upset about it too. So but Power, I already know about the V Shoujo situation because that is the main headline. That is the main headline of Iron Mouse basically just leaving Iron Mouse leaving that organization and just doing a full on tell all, basically lifting the curtain on what's been going on behind the scenes. So, but props to everybody who props to every VTuber out there who went out. Props to every VTuber out there who just decided to drop them entirely inside with Iron Mouse on this one. And I noticed that Chibi Reviews also left VShojo as well. So we might cover that on Sunday. We might cover that on Sunday's Makini Live. Or we may cover that on Friday's show or on a Pete Gamer or something like that. But that's a crazy situation. And the whole thing with, like I said, the whole thing with Stop Killing Games. Apparently there's some only one person's left. Yikes. But the whole thing with Stop Killing Games, looks like they might have hit another roadblock and it might be an inside job. But still, basically. So anyway, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up as many tweets as I can going over this whole ordeal, and and we're gonna go over a couple of videos too. And I'm gonna probably get another work doodle started in the meantime. So we got 3 people watching. Thank you guys so much. If you really want to stick it to these Karens, if you want to stick it to these kind of people who want to take, who want to dictate what you can and can't consume, all you gotta do is this.
Hey, if you're enjoying this program, please smack that like button and make a jiggle.
And smack that subscribe button if you want to see more art content from Makini. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the show.
Later.
All right. Smack that like button, make it jiggle. Smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle. Let's go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat, and then I'm gonna start pulling up all of the videos and articles as we go along. Okay. All right. So first off, Penny, good morning. Penny, hope you are doing well. I'll put some music on in the background for you, so that way I'll have some music right for you in the background. Power, good morning. Emerald, good morning. Neo J, good morning. Lucky Nako, good morning. You are not late, sir. You are not late. Emerald, thank you. I know you know what? I'm being hyperbolic when I say it's only important to me, but no, I think it's important to a lot of people. I understand this is actually a very important situation for a lot of people, and I think this needs to be brought into the light. You know, it's you know, these old sayings, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Yeah, this needs to be brought into the light. And so yeah, you're right. Price for freedom is eternal vigilant. And yeah, exactly. Yep, absolutely. Whew. Yeah. So Rocky, good to see you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Rocky, good to see you as well. Yeah, forgive and forget. No, this isn't forgiven because this isn't forgiven, NeoJ, because because they have that much power and influence, and it's not really is it really a nonprofit organization, not for nonprofit organization, when your staff members are also government officials? Yeah, it's not really a nonprofit organization now, is it? So I feel like everything is in cahoots. Even the payment processors are in cahoots over this too. So, but this is blatant. I take a stand against censorship. Period. I'm against censorship. I'm against moral puritanism. Clean and clear. I don't know how much I can even. I don't even know how much I can say that even any more clearly, because this is censorship. This is censorship on the guise under the cover of combating sexploitation, of protecting victims. And this needs to be called out. Okay. So, however, but you know what? There is some good things. The pushback is strong. So I've been keeping up with everything that's going on yesterday on Twitter, and every single tweet that staff members of Collective Shout that have been tweeting, they have been ratioed every single time. And the most common thing they bring up is the blatant hypocrisy of they want to ban all of these games and ban all this form of media, but yet they defend a film like Cuties. So, let's go ahead. I got the video, I got the audio right, but there is some good news. Like I said, there is some good news, and I think the good news is, I think one of the piece of good news is that we need to start from here. If you guys, so a lot of this has started with a lot of this ordeal, a lot of this situation has started with Japan, basically. Payment processors pulling out from Japan and such like that. You know, I told you guys about the story about the I told you guys about what happened to a manga preservation effort that was basically thwarted by Visa and MasterCard pulling payment processors out. You've heard stories about websites and such like that being having their stuff, having payment processors pulling out because of, you know, adult content, which they shouldn't be dictating, you know, what they shouldn't be dictating what people put their money into. If people want to spend it on this, then let them spend it on this then. Anyway, but there is some good news to this situation. There's some good news so far. Visa, and I posted this in the community tab yesterday. Visa was told by Japan's antitrust watchdog to reform their credit info system. The move marks the FTC's first administrative action against a credit card company. Japan's antitrust watchdog said Tuesday that it told Visa Worldwide Pre-Limited that it to reform its business practices after concluding the firm restricted and pressured card companies to use its credit information system. It marks the first administrative action taken by the Japan Fair Trade Commission, the FTC, against a credit card company. The commission said global credit card brand Visa Inc.'s Singaporean unit, which manages the Asia Pacific region, including Japan, had charged higher fees to other credit card firms that did not use its network to check credit information. The commission said the Visa unit has submitted plans to improve its practices, adding that it has accepted the plans. The company was exempted from facing fines or other punitive measures under the anti-monopoly law. According to Japanese Consumer Credit Association, as of 2020, the Visa credit card brand accounted for about half the market share in Japan. A total of credit card transactions in 2024 alone was 116 trillion yen, which equates in US dollars 785 billion. Credit card transactions involved issuing a company and management company, which both utilize trusted reference system when a transaction is made, according to the watchdog. Interchange fees, typically set by global brands, are paid by the management company issuing the company during a transaction, while the issuing company pays a service to change to a different company. In this case, Visa Worldwide providing the reference system. While Visa Worldwide had applied preferential rates under certain requirements, it altered the conditions from no later than November of 2021 to necessitate the use of network, leading some companies to switch to other systems under Visa despite costing more than others. Which in this case, there's other payment processors out there too, aside from just like Visa and MasterCard. Like American Express is one thing. I know Japan has another one. I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it's called. It's on the top of my tongue. But this was affecting stuff like this was affecting kind of like shops, like hobbyist shops and such like that, who were selling quote unquote adult material. And they were basically being pulled out because of that very thing. I know sites like Senkaku Complex was talking about this a lot more often. I don't know if Automaton West was bringing this up too, but we might have to go to Automaton West about this article as well. Japanese authorities have been investigating allegations the practice violated the anti-monopoly law, which prohibits companies in a dominant fashion from imposing unfair trading terms on firms with a weaker standing. Tuesday's administrative action to the commission, submitted to the commission, Visa unit will restore conditions for preferential rates, previous iterations. A third-party entity approved by the watchdog will check for improvements report to the commission for over the next 5 years. I think this is good. I think this is a good thing, and I think this is a W definitely for Japan. People were saying that they hope that we have a federal trade commission here in the States that every other FTCs follow suit, and I think it's going to be doubtful. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's highly doubtful. However, I want to find if we have it. Let me find it. Where is it? I don't know if I remember Automaton West may have made an article about this too. I don't think they have. If not, I might be wrong on this one. I don't think they have. But if they have, here we go. Well, this was back from a couple of days ago. This back a couple of days ago, a Japanese political party wants video games and anime to be put under state authority to make sure they're wholesome, and a lot of people are angry. And I think this has a lot of ties to what's going on with Collective Shout. and such like that. So I'm going to put a lot of these, I'm going to put both of these in the description. Now, let's get back into Collective Shout, because I'm sorry if I haven't started drawing yet. I will definitely try to start drawing. But another player that was involved in this situation is actually Anna Valens. So for those who don't know, I did cover the Kirsha situation a while back regarding Vice editor Anna Valens, who has been Vice editor Anna Valens, who has been writing multiple hit pieces on Kirsha to the point where she was willing to file a defamation suit, basically, and it basically forced them to stop. Well, what happened was that Anna Valens actually was writing a piece going over Collective Shout, and because it put them in such a negative light, the piece was not only taken down, but Anna Valens himself was also fired. This is coming from, and I'm going to go on YouTube real quick. This is coming from Lack of Entertainment, our favorite Romanian troll, V. Our favorite Romanian troll, V. And yeah, he's already covering the V shoujo drama and such like that. But this one, I want to bring this right here. The Vice journalist who was bullying Kirsha has been fired. So let's go.
Let's sit down, because I'm about to show you the worst headline of
What? Excuse me, what? Let me say that again. Okay. Oh, there's no sound. Okay, hang on. Let me stop. Okay, sorry about that. There is no sound. My bad. Okay, I am so sorry, guys. There is no sound. Yeah, this was got fired last week. Yeah. So this is
all right. I need you to sit down, because I'm about to show you the worst headline of the year, probably of the decade. You've never seen something like this.
This is a horrible
headline. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. Listen to this. This is from the PC Gamer. Australian anti-porn group claims responsibility for Steam's new censorship rules in victory against porn-sick, brain-rotted pedo gamer fetishists.
What kind of... Okay, show of hands. Okay, show of hands. Show of hands. Show of hands in the chat. Is this the worst headline you've heard all year? Say it. Press 1 in the chat for yes, 2 for no. Is this the worst headline you've heard all year? Australian anti-poontang group claims responsibility for Steam's new censorship rules in a victory against poontang sick, brain-rotted, P-word gamer fetishists. And things only get weirder from here. Neo J says, I've grown numb to these terrible titles. Just terrible titles. Yeah, PC Gamer went after them too. They pissed everybody off. So they pissed everyone off, basically.
What the fuck is a gamer fetishist?
What?
And things only get weirder from here, right? So the things absolutely do get weird. For those of you that don't know what happened, there's like this grifting feminist group, which takes a lot of money from donations, doesn't disclose where the donations are. They may be affiliated with the Australian government. But anyway, like they claim that they're trying to protect children. when in reality they are going after the most petty stuff imaginable. Like, they're not going after the cartels, they're not talking about politically incorrect conversations. No, like what they're doing is they're going after soap companies. They're trying to prevent Tyler, the Creator, from singing in Australia. They're going after GTA. Okay, like this is what they're doing, and they're making a lot of money doing it. So in the recent activity, they decided to target a couple of offensive game on Steams. All of them shovelware. Nobody was playing them. Like, I actually looked at who was playing these games. Absolutely no one. But the way they went around doing their business is what pissed everyone off. It's not the fact that they went after those games, which, in my opinion, like, why is someone from Australia trying to prevent the international market from buying anything?
That's the thing that gets me. Because it's one thing if you want these games banned in your market, but what Collective Shout is doing is they want these games, this form of media in general, this form of advertising, anything that is sex positive, because they're sex negative feminists, they want it banned worldwide. They want it banned worldwide so that nobody can enjoy it. Nobody can consume this content. And it's a colossal grift. You know, it is a blatant colossal grift at this point.
But regardless, you know, they decided to take down those games. But they petitioned Visa and MasterCard in order to do the censorship. Like, in other words, they're normalizing, they're glorifying payment processors censoring the internet. And
pretty much, it pretty much is using payment processors to get rid of things you don't want, get rid of content because you don't like it for one reason or another. That's why I think this is important to me. That's why I think this needs to be brought to the light.
And a lot of right-wingers, especially gamers and other people, have been victims of online censorship for the past decade. And so they don't take this lightly. Like, this is a serious issue. In a perfect society, you do not have unaccountable for-profit entities deciding what people can and can't say online, what people can and can't sell. Like, if the law allows something to be sold, then change the legislation. Like, if you genuinely think that that is so dangerous, change the legislation, right? Don't go to the payment processors and complain. And this is why people are absolutely livid. Now, our story now involves Kirsche, the Foxu, right? Like, do you guys watch the Foxu? Do you watch Kirsche? As you know, she had some trouble with the Vice journalist. It involved her sponsors. It involved brigading, right? Like, I think, like, people insinuated that she's far right, that she's going to start the Fourth Reich anytime soon. They also did it when she was in vacation. Not nice. Not nice. Well, that Vice journalist actually covered this situation. And unlike the coverage of Kirsche, the coverage of Collective Cry, which is the feminist group that started all of this, seemed to be pretty spot on. I mean, it wasn't, you know, like the type of investigation that Kirsche does. Like, they didn't really go in depth to find out who the members of the organizations are, what is their grift. Like, they didn't go that level. But they were pointing out, it's like, all of this seems a little bit bizarre. Like, they targeted some games that nobody plays, and they're now running victory laps. Kind of weird, like they're claiming that Steam took 1,000 games down, when in reality they only took a couple, and those were associated with their DLCs and demos. What the fuck is going on, right? Like, that was the Vice article. Apparently, Vice decided to fire that journalist, right? So, like, the journalist that was bullying Kirsche got fired. And I really hate Vice because I can't cheer about this. You know, like, on one hand, I do appreciate when people that are advocating for censorship, people that are going after other people's sponsors, whether directly or insinuating, you know, it brings me great joy when I see that these people are off the board. That they're not that they're not a player into the race. But the way they were removed from the board in this situation, they
were removed not because of, you know, the multiple slanderous hit pieces they did on Kirsche, which would have clearly gotten them gotten him sued. It was over covering the Collective Shout situation and bringing it all to light, which they didn't like, basically.
Were removed while also talking about censorship and also talking against Visa and MasterCard. And again, like, this irritates me a little bit. I wanted to celebrate, but I can't celebrate. You know, like, for once, the vice journalist was actually starting to do a good job. Not a 10 out of 10, but like a 6 out of 10. It was a 6 or a 7 out of 10. And so what's interesting is that PC Gamer wrote an article actually defending this journalist, right? So, like, they're talking about the collective shout, which the internet is now calling collective screeching. And they're pointing about, like, you know, look how they're helping women and girls, right? Like, this is where the donations are going. If they're associated with the government, this is where the taxpayer money and the grants are going. Like, phenomenal work. Trying to ban Snoop Dogg and Eminem from Australia, right? Like, I mean, this is definitely going to keep the girls safe. Whenever Snoop Dogg and Eminem is even in your country, all the women, all the girls are unsafe, right? Successful 2015 campaign to prevent Tyler, the Creator, from touring Australia. Again, like, at the time, Tyler, the Creator, I believe, was responsible for trying to say that online bullying isn't real. You know, just turn that shit off. And because of that, he got in a lot of problems with the feminists. So it was probably ideological why they tried to ban him. Successful 2015 campaign to pressure Target and Kmart to stop selling GTA 5 in Australia. It seems like 2015 year was a year of great accomplishments for Collective Shout. Look, like, not only did they prevent the evil Tyler, the Creator, for singing in Australia, but they also prevented GTA 5 from being sold in the supermarkets. Holy shit. I mean, I'm thinking about moving to Australia if I ever have a daughter. Can you imagine the level of safety over there? Petition to ban the game No Mercy from sale, which ultimately led to the developers pulling it from Steam. Yeah.
By the way, the a lot of people probably know about this. Probably know about this organization. It was likely part due to what happened with the Steam game No Mercy being banned. Yeah, they were on a victory lap bragging about how they got that game banned off of Steam, and not just off of Steam, but also off of other different online shops as well. And yeah, now it's show now the veil has been lifted, basically.
This also happened. Like, No Mercy was indeed a video game that was extremely edgy, like trying to piss people off. The whole purpose of it was to push the boundaries. And the boundaries were actually pushed. People from Britain spurred out, people from Australia spurred out. And so, like, the developer became notorious. Initially, no one even knew about the game, but once the spurg out happened, he probably made millions of dollars. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, the game managed to get a lot of traction simply because they talked about it. And so the developer decided to pull it away from Steam before he hurts the ecosystem. Right? So, like, he got his money and fucked off. And now I think he's making another game. But again, you know, victory for ladies everywhere. I mean, girls are much safe now that this game isn't being sold on Steam. An unsuccessful petition to ban Detroit Become Human from sale. PC Gamer is being very generous here by not showing their other accomplishments, like, for instance, targeting soap companies. Like, just like absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense of a grip. On July 7th, the Collective Shout shared an update to No Mercy change, calling on supporters to email payment processors, including PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, and Discover, to demand that they cut ties with Steam and itch.io over 100 of problematic games. Now, here's the interesting one, right? Like, this is where I think, like, the Vice journalists got in trouble. They did a little bit too much investigation. They say that child abuse games exist on Steam. The reality is, however, that Steam is extremely careful with this stuff. Like, first of all, Steam has banned any type of game that involves real-life humans.
Yes, they have.
There were actual developers that had, you know, realistic scenes in their game. The games got banned. They don't want to deal with that. The second thing, even if your character is 3,000 years old, but looks as if they're 16, game gets banned on Steam.
Mhm.
Even if your character is 18 years old, but is in a high school setting, game gets banned on Steam. Even if your character is 25 years old, but is wearing a school uniform, game gets banned on Steam. Steam is so careful with this shit that there was a game which accidentally left a minor character. I think it was like a 16-year-old girl or something. They left her in one of the files. And it wasn't able to be accessed. It wasn't anything. It was just an asset that they had from like a different game that wasn't adult. And they had like the asset in. Steam immediately contacted the developer and told them to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what the Vice journalist was saying. It's like, out of all the policies from Steam, the one making sure that the video game characters are mature is the most enforced one. And so far, out of all the games that were removed after, Collective Shout is claiming victory, none of them had any childlike character. So basically, they're dialing the hysteria to 11. These people are fear merchants. They're trying to sell moral panics in exchange for donations. And this is what the Vice article was actually trying to say. And it's interesting that, after that journalist said so many things about so many other people, this is what got them fired. So either Collective Shout has a lot of pull, and a lot of people think they may because some of the individuals there are actually associated with the Australian government.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Or maybe Vice Magazine was, already trying to do some layoffs. And
I want to stop this here. Yeah. So they claim. Sorry, they claim to be. The group claims that they're a nonprofit organization when you clearly are working in conjunction with the payment processors, and you are basically you have members, your staff are part of Australian, part of the government. So how is this a nonprofit organization? So yeah, it's just it's a fallacy, man. The reason they bring up soap companies, power, and I'll explain. The reason they bring up soap companies the same way they went after bakeries. I posted one of my community posts showed that one bakery. There was an article on one bakery had to change up their campaign following numerous backlash and complaints over an ad saying the best buns in town. Over a simple ad saying the best buns in town. And they got ass mad over it. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. They go after soap. They have a history of going after soap companies going after makeup, lip gloss ads that show any form of nudity, any form of sexuality or over sexualization. That was something that Madam Savvy pointed out in her video that we went over on Monday. It's just everything, and this is the whole thing. This is what this group is the textbook definition of sex negative feminism. The problem is that they want this to be global. They want to dictate what is allowed and what is not allowed. And even infamously knowing that they went after Playboy for a charity for breast cancer. And we're going to go over some of the tweets, by the way, because there's some tweets that I caught in real time. Let's continue.
This journalist was already creating problems for them. Who knows? But it is interesting, right? So they actually reached out to this journalist, and the journalist claims that they fact-checked every single piece of content that they put on. I believe that collective shout that its related organizations deserve further journalistic investigation by other reporters in the game industry. I hope more writers look into the clear and obvious sign of payment processors-based censorship that are occurring towards Steam and have occurred against Pixiv, Itch.io, the L site, Gumroad, Patreon, and other sites. It's interesting that a lot of people don't notice that this whole pornography thing is also clumped together with hate speech. Like in many of this legislation that's coming up,
this is something that Madam Savvy pointed out during Tuesday night's main event on Geeks and Gamers channel. I was tuning into that a little bit. She was bringing up, because you mentioned V brings up Pixiv, he brings up other sites. Tumblr was also a cause to this, hence why there was no you remember that? Do you guys remember the story of Tumblr getting rid of not safe for work content, which caused a whole migration of a lot of the Tumblr rights to go over to Twitter? Well, there's speculation that it was due to the payment processors doing that. And yeah, they went out. Yeah, Pixiv was affected, by the way. Pixiv was affected. Gumroad was affected. In fact, somebody in the comments told me that they can't access they've been kicked up. They can't access their Patreon anymore. They can't access their own Gumroad or Subscribestar because of this, because of the payment process and such like that. Well, you know about the history especially in regards to Patreon dictating what content you can and can't have, to where your Patreon can get taken down at any moment's notice, and there's no way to recover from it. Basically, it's strike one and you're done. And a lot of it is due to, and it's speculation that a lot of it is due to these payment processors. And you tie it with, what's going on with Steam and such like that. I think we can agree that really, like, this feminist organization is clearly working with the payment processors, though. Clearly, I get the sense that they are, though. That's why they were to have that much pull to get Steam to, kick so many, like 100 games off, basically. And this is almost a mafia tactic, basically.
Adding robust age verification or requiring platforms to do more, or payment processors to do more to crack down on this content. Hate speech is also tackled on, and disinformation is also sometimes tackled on. So, like, people are cheering for their own disinterest. The reality is, like, look, the far left and the far right, what they have in common is the authoritarian aspect. The authoritarian aspect is unique to both of them, right? So, like, when it comes to authoritarianism, they join forces. Because authoritarianism is about control. It's about control about what you think, what you say, what you can purchase. And so if you were tasked with helping Visa and MasterCard to gain control over the internet, how would you do it? Well, the best way to do it is to get both of the bubbles, right? Like the left-wing and the right-wing bubbles, to agree with each other. And so you sell it to the right-wingers that it's to protect children, and you sell it to the leftists that is to protect minorities. So in other words, to the leftists, you say, well, it's important to make sure we protect people against hate speech. And to the right, you say, well, it's important to crack down on pornography. And all of a sudden, both sides agree. And this is why, finally, people are noticing what's going on, and they're saying, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, like, these types of video games are disgusting, which is why most people don't even play them. Most people don't even know these video games existed up until you brought them up. But what you're doing is you're empowering Visa and MasterCard, and people are starting to notice. People notice the debanking of Nigel Farage. People notice the debanking of the truckers. People notice the debanking of the January 6 people that were just accused at the time. People have noticed these things. And this is not the type of future that people want. People don't want to live in China. Because if they did, they would go there. It's not that it's a bad place, but it's like, hey, we've been used to living with freedom and liberty. Now, if Australia wants to have a different path, That's great, you know, but like have your morality and your legislation for Australia. Like don't buy these games, don't commercialize them in your country, but don't tell the rest of the world. Don't tell the Eastern European, the Polish guy. Don't tell the Polish guy what he can and can't buy. Or, you know, like, because if they had their way, the Polish guy wouldn't even be able to listen to Tyler, the Creator, or Eminem, which again, like not a lot of people listen to them anyway, but it's the principle that pisses me off. Like, I don't like Eminem.
Yeah.
Everything that Eminem says disturbs me. But like the very principle that you think you can go after this guy for no other reason than you can, and you're using payment processors to do it, now that is the thing that I care about, and that is the thing that I find offensive. More offensive than any of these trash games. Let me know what you guys think. And apparently Legend says that if you like or comment on the video, or heaven forbid if you subscribe, the video actually gets more traction. I personally don't believe it. I think it's fake, but do it anyway. Let me know.
Yeah, so that was from V, Lack of Entertainment. I'll put a link to his full video. Go ahead and please check him out. And I did want to go over Hypnotic's video, because apparently a figure that we probably know and love, Khalif Booty Adams, was supposed to have an interview. Was supposed to have like an interview. Reached out to Collective Shout, until he found out that Collective Shout, they're not a far left organization. They're not a far right organization. They are anti-LGBTQ as well. So they're just moral Puritans, basically. And yeah, he backed out, deleted those tweets too. Khalif Adams is a freaking shill, a colossal shill. So yeah, just with even with that, people are very much against it. There's a whole thing. Even Kotaku is now speaking out against it too. So it's the whole thing when you're seeing when even your enemies are siding with each other against you on this. So I want to bring up. I know we're going to keep a couple things I want to bring up. So I want to bring up Madam Savvy's tweets, because she has been, let's just say, curb stomping him. Let's just say curb stomp, okay? She has been double tapping so many the people within this Collective Shout organization. A lot of people are calling out over of them defending cuties. Basically talking out of both of their ass, talking out of both sides of their mouth, basically, because they will go after one thing. They will go after games like Detroit Become Human and all these adult games, but then they won't say a damn thing trying to defend cuties about that. They're going to try to defend cuties as well. And they went on a back and forth. Mab Savvy went back and forth on a lot of them too. And let me start with let's start with Hypnotic's video first. Let's start with Hypnotic's video first, because we're gonna start with Hypnotic's video, and then we're gonna go further into Madam Savvy's tweets, because there's some things that I picked up yesterday that I found very, very interesting. So this is Hypnotic's video. If you guys are not subscribed to Hypnotic, please do so. I'm going to put a link to his video in the description.
To try to get them to do their bidding, or some people believe that they are basically the fall guys, or the fall women in this case, for the payment processors, looking for someone to, take the blame for them, because they really are the ones that want to do all this stuff. Well, apparently Madam Savvy has done a crazy deep dive on...
Oh, is this over her
or whatever? But these women have...
This is the video. Okay, so this is over the video. So I did go over the video. By the way, they rejected my repeal. Monday's stream is age restricted because of me covering some of the stuff that was covered in Madam Savvy's video. But it's very important video to bring up. here's where one thing I want to break. Here's one thing that I think is very interesting to bring up because of this back and forth spasm that they had with Collective Shout. And okay. So yeah. So they're at the point now, and this is Renee chopping. Do not harass them on Twitter. Do not do anything on Twitter with them. Okay. And they, after being basically bombarded and attacked, let's say this, bombarded and criticized over basically their blatant, and I mean blatant hypocrisy. They went on one of the staff members, or people went on a whole spurg out explaining why they think it's okay to defend a film like Cuties, but try to, shut down and deplatform, shut down all these games on Steam. And they went into an entire thread. By the way, the thread's been locked. Comments have been locked because they got ripped to shreds. Madam Savvy, who ended up getting blocked by them on Twitter, by the way, blocked by this individual, basically called them out straight up, and it went into a back and forth spasm, spark out with them, basically. And Smash JT, who made this tweet, and he got blocked too. We're not pro exploitation. We just defend Cuties is a hell of a hill to die on. Basically ratioing the hell out of him. And he got blocked too. So let me go into but the moment that Madam Savvy brought this up to question, oh no, so she is, she has, okay, do we have Madam Savvy's tweet? Okay. So they went on this whole spurg out about them defending, Cuties and being basically one of the colossal hypocrites. And this went on a back and forth spasm between Renee and Madam Savvy. And Madam Savvy basically hit them with this, if I can find it. If I can find it. Oh, here we go. This is it right here. So Renee tried to throw this whole thing with this whole full disclosure about them defending Cuties and such like that. And it's a lot of nonsense to where Savvy replies with this. Oh, good. So you went lockstep with your boss while I have you. Why did Detroit? And this brings up a great question. Why did you want Detroit Become Human banned? You rescue a girl from an abusive situation, not glorify it, which means according to your BS here, it should be fine. And I think that's a good point. Because you want to say you're against abuse, sexual abuse victims and say stuff like that. And it's like, why did you go after all these games and go after Detroit Become Human, which you're able to prevent that from happening? So by your logic, Detroit Become Human shouldn't even be in your damn crosshairs. If you're going out of your way to defend, your reasoning for defending Cuties the same in that same token. Anyway, every single person I know who plays naughty games wants Cuties banned because Cuties uses real human girls in sexual ways. Strange juxtaposition there. And that was the moment that she got blocked. That was the exact moment that she got blocked. Because they can't answer. They cannot answer. They do not have an actual answer for that. Not only that, I'm going to go to Chibi Reviews because I pointed this out because I saw this. So I saw this basically. So Collective Shout doubled down on their defending cuties in 2025. Did you just make an entire thread defending cuties after people were calling your group out for censoring fiction? You realize that Netflix and everyone involved exploited for those girls for money too, right? And yeah, they're basically blocking everybody who calls them out and locking their threads. But this is the thing that I found very interesting. Let me scroll all the way down here. So, it's from Pirate Nation. There's already a there's already a petition going right now on change.org to tell MasterCard, Visa, and activist groups to stop controlling what we watch, read, or play. And if I can find the original signature, I'd love to find the. I'd love that Pirate Nation could link us to the original Twitter user who has. Okay, here we go. So it's at 28,000. I'm very iffy on this one, but if you guys want to sign the petition, go ahead. Have at you. Go for it. But at least we'll get some eyes on this one here. But essentially, the person who signed the petition, a person who got the kind of petition going, apparently got a message from message from change.org, and I'm going to write here, and I'm going to read this whole thing. Hi there. We're writing to let you know that we received a claim alleging that the content in your petition update is defamatory. Change.org is an open platform and we care deeply about free speech and empowering our users to create change what they want to see. However, when you use change.org, you agree to our terms of service and community guidelines, and that includes agreeing not to defame others. This means you cannot make untrue statements about another person or organization which can harm their reputation. In order to allow us to continue hosting your petition update, please provide 3 proof or substantiation of any alleged defamatory statements within 3 business days to communication. Please note, we're not able to accept statements such as, I know the petition update to be true as proof of substantiation of your petition update. We're also not in a position to determine whether your petition update is indeed defamatory. We're unable to validate those claims made in your petition update within the next 3 business days. We may remove your petition update for the content. We also want to make sure that you're aware of the claim and given the opportunity to amend or remove the petition update. If you choose to maintain your petition update, our platform in this current form may be exposing yourself to legal liability. And that's the end to it. And my response is simply, you want proof? Just show their Twitter. Because apparently someone, or it looks like Collective Shout or a follower of Collective Shout is going to try to close the petition and stop trying to close this petition. And basically, it's basically silencing. They're going to the point where they're trying to silence people now because the spotlight is now on them. They wanted all this attention. Well, they got it. They can't compete in the market of free ideas, which is why they always try to silence the opposition. Exactly. It just shows that these activist groups aren't fighting tyranny. They are the tyranny trying to disguise itself. Don DeMarco right there. They should just share collectives. Yeah, and if you want simple proof, just show their Twitter. That's all you got to do. If you can't win with ideas, then they try to silence you. And yeah, feminists love censorship, don't they? Yeah, because this is what this is. This is silencing. Because everybody, and everybody's talking about it too. So Collective Shout's already brought this up. Chibi Review's about to brought this up. Everybody's bringing this up. And of course, Chibi Review is being a part of, and this whole Visa and MasterCard situation has gone so much that now Elon Musk is getting involved. Yeah, Elon Musk is getting involved. So yeah, so tell me that this isn't important, basically. Tell me this isn't important. Chiba Reviews even makes this point here, and this is from Chris Alice, which is Wow, this is the TV. Okay, I'm gonna put a link to this. So that way you guys can read the full information on this one. Shout out to Chibi Reviews and Madam Savvy for bringing so much of this information to light. But there's a whole little spat with Chibi Reviews that I want to bring up. Oh, Jay Viper, here's another one. Yeah, so this is a not-for-profit organization. This is supposed to be a quote-unquote non-profit organization. And Jay Viper brings this up. Why does Collective Shout have so many people that work in the Australian government or public sector roles funded by the Australian government? Bernie Poljak, finance and administrator, manager in the Australian government. Katie Halsey, secretary, treasurer, director, coached individuals in government-linked sectors, also worked in the public sector. Background in management and law, including work in statutory schemes, authored government administrative regulatory frameworks in Australia, and has worked in advocacy with the government and would have ties and people in the government. These are people working in Collective Shout. And this is supposed to be a grassroots government. This is supposed to be a freaking grassroots. This is supposed to be a grassroots. And it just comes out as a freaking cover-up, basically. It just comes out as a blatant cover-up. But here's the thing I want to bring up. Now, let me find. Here we go. This is the one right here. So, one of the founders of Collective Shop, Melinda Tackard, please do not harass them on Twitter. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Please do not harass these people on Twitter. But they posted this screenshot. You're morally bankrupt in destroying civilization. How dare you say gamers getting off on sexual torture of women and kids makes us violent? Also in my inbox this morning. That's gonna get me age restricted again. But they got community noted. The form submission, because this is supposed to be a website. Turns out the website was fabricated. Turns out the website was fabricated. The form used by the OP allowed fake form submissions, which tend to skew the results. They should consider using Google Forms for more valid submissions. Invalid email addresses and website domain of the statement. Chiba Reviews called that out straight up. Collective Shout's founder caught lying about an email where they received. The domain is unregistered, and so the email is impossible for them to receive. May I ask how this is helping women? By lying about emails. And this goes into the brilliant thing here. It came to us through Nation Builder. I received Nation Builder alerts in my email, my inbox. No need to admit anything and document or evidence on the way to AFP and e-safety. And then Chibi Reviews hits them with this. Explain this, which basically they looked it up. Registration data lookup tool. Enter domain name or internet service IP or network ASN. And it's supposed to be greatballwomen.com. And it seems that domain doesn't even exist. You can forge email headers. You can forge email headers. That's not how email works, by the way. So yeah. So this is you want to explain something about yeah. Yeah, there's too much crying raid here. There's too much crying raid. And I'm seeing the raid speaking of raid right now, Loki, if you're here right now. Loki, if you're here, I want you to, I'm gonna bring this up. First stage here. Guess what I got? I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna open this up right now. We're doing an unboxing real quick. I'm doing an unboxing real quick because I want to share this. Because I think this is very important. Would you look at that? Oh, no. Sorry. This whole goes deep, man. This goes seriously deep, and that's why I'm very serious about talking about this. Yep. Bro. Bro, I can't believe we got it. There it is. Yeah. He sent that to me. He sent that to me a while back. He had an extra copy in hand. He was going to mail it to me. This is, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I'll see if it, I'm hoping it's got full, I'm hoping this version has like full English translation. It's the full English subtitles here. I'm hoping this has the full English subtitles here, but no, this is important to all of this kind of stuff. Oh my god! Even if it doesn't have English subs, you know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna save this one. I'll keep it as memorabilia. But I'll keep it as memorabilia. Listen, this is why I'm bringing this up. So let's go bring up an old article real quick. I'm gonna bring up a very old article real quick. And why I think this is important to me. And this is why I think this is important to me. So, this is a very important to me why I brought this up. And this is a very old article too. Let me go and share this on. Share this. This is from Do You Even Game Bro? This is a very old article from 2015. The Dead or Alive Extreme 3 debate debacle has been a hot topic of late, and now the president of Sony himself, Shuei Yoshida, has weighed down his own thoughts surrounding the issues. In a recent interview with 4Gamer, Yoshida was talking about how Japan's game marketplace had reached adulthood, but they had to be conscious about their decision when it comes to the overseas market. This spurred the interviewer to bring up the controversy of Dead or Alive Extreme 3 not coming to the West due to Western issues of female depictions in video games. Yoshida replied with this: "It's due to cultural differences. The West has its own thinking about how to depict women in games media, which is different from Japan. Speaking personally, if it's a representation acceptable to the general people in Japan, I wouldn't be concerned about it. In Japan, it's a difficult problem." Yoshida even brought up Dragon's Crown, which met with similar criticism regarding their portrayal of women, and even attributed to the game's lower scores due to that. I love Dragon's Crown, but that title got some criticism, and it got extremely low reviews scores, basically. This is probably the most telling thing we'll read regarding this issue, and reinforce many people's fears of Japanese game developers and publishers not bringing the West to their games over fear of small criticisms. The reason I want to bring this up, and the reason I think this is important for me, is because when this whole debacle with Dead or Alive Extreme 3 not coming to the West over, quote unquote cultural differences, over how women are depicted in video games, needless to say, this was my first introduction. Needless to say, this was my first introduction into this whole culture war BS. I am not lying. This game right here was my first introduction into this whole situation. And for a decade, I've been talking about a lot of other stuff over the years. We've been talking about what's been going on with Disney, with Disney Star Wars, Disney and Star Wars and Marvel and a lot of the political stuff, how it's ruining entertainment, how it's ruining entertainment, how it's ruining how it's ruining pop culture and entertainment is ruining because all these identity politics, a lot of these people being in positions of power, ruining this, putting their ideologies and everything. I saw this in the comic book industry. Of course, this is how, we saw how OG Comicsgate was basically born because of stuff like this. But the reason I bring all this stuff up is because as much as I've supported so many people, as much as I've supported all of the people, all the big content creators that we used to follow all the time, and the whole, crusade and such like that, I knew firsthand, understood firsthand, or I understood that as much as I want to speak up about what was going on with Star Wars and comic books and Doctor Who and all these pop culture media, that wasn't my fight. That wasn't what I wanted to speak out on. This is what I wanted to speak out on. The censorship, the demonization of the female form. This was always going to be the hill I'm willing to die on. This was always going to be something I was going to be the most passionate about, talking about the most. And we saw so much of this last year. Oh yeah, we're covering that. Darkness, we're covering that right now. But I saw so much of this. We saw so much of this last year with Stellar Blade. We saw so much of this last year with Black Myth Wukong. We saw so much of this with the whole Sweet Baby Inc. drama, the whole Gamergate 2 nonsense. I knew from that point, the moment that we saw the shit with Stellar Blade and such like that, that was going to be me finally, me finally speaking out, and speaking out passionately, because I'm passionate about this kind of shit, dude. I say at the end of every video that I do, at the end of every video, every stream that I do, I always say, never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in video games. And now that has much more value behind it. There's much more strength behind it because of what's going on with Collective Shout. This is not only about censorship, this is about eliminating the freedom of expression. This shit goes deeper now. By the way, Darkness, thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for pointing that out, because you know what happened? Thank you for pointing that out, because you know what happened? She locked the replies. She locked the replies, by the way. I saw it in real time. She actually locked the replies to that comment. So let's go back to Madame Savvy's page. I'm gonna go back to Madame Savvy's page, and we're gonna bring this up right here. So, right here, yeah. So before we went live, she actually locked the comments. Because this harpy, this troglodyte, was getting ratioed again. So let's go ahead and go through every single one of her points, okay? Shall we? This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun. By the way, to anybody at Collective Shout, I see a free. You guys may look at me as like a free block, so it gets in their attention. Guys, chat, can you guys do me one little favor?
Hey, if you're enjoying this program, please smack that like button and make a jiggle.
And smack that subscribe button if you want to see more art content from Makini. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the show.
Later.
So yeah, smack that like button, make a jiggle, and that subscribe button. Yeah, give it a good smacking too. Just saying, just like that, okay? Because I know that'll piss them off. Anyway, so to summarize, this is funny. This is funny because I highlighted one of her comments earlier in my community tab. And that was an absolute hoot, because that is elementary. It is the definition of what we call. Let me go ahead and share this here. So this person right here, I saw this reply because Vera Dark made made a post about this yesterday, made a video about this yesterday, of her getting ass mad about this, and so And she pointed this out. And listen to this. Listen to that, guys. I want you guys to listen to this nice and clear. Okay. Someone reach out to the Game Boys. What?
You what?
Someone reach out to the Game Boys. They need help urgently. Brains rotted out from CSAM, Grape plus that word games. Now they're chasing, Sweet Home Alabama games. Now they're chasing after women with Grape and deletion threats, plus false accusations for holding COS to their own TS and CS because they can't access their CSAM, Grape plus Sweet Home Alabama games.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I said this is a great, and this was my response, and I pointed this out because this is what Mab Savvy pointed out, by the way. So you get mad at women for continuing to buy products from stores that you want to cancel. You went after bakeries you went after a bakery for a funny ad, by the way. This is the one right here. Brandy pulls its best buns in town staff t-shirts after employee complaints. Sexualized slogans on staff uniforms leave young employees vulnerable to sexual harassment. So just saying, it's a bakery saying we got the best buns in town. Nigga! Really? This is going to incite young employees vulnerable to sexual harassment by having by working at a bakery with a shirt that says we got the best buns in town.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Oh my god. So yeah, Three Raw Breakfast rumor file was told the bakery chain had sent out t-shirts with the slogan "We got the best buns in town" plastered across the front of their staff while working. Do you see that a bit of a sleazy comment? Are you? It's not a sense of humor. Oh no. They got a stick up their ass. Oh my god. So you go after makeup and lip gloss ads for any ounce of nudity, because that was also pointed out in Madam Savvy's video, by the way. They went after makeup and lip gloss ads because they were showing some form of nudity in one way of maybe a girl being topless for makeup or something like that. And they also misconstrued. By the way, I forgot to add this one. Any girl with a makeup ad, any girl that's like topless in some kind of makeup ad or something like that, they perceive them as young because they look young to them, basically. They perceive them as young because they want to, perceive them as young, by the way. So yeah, there's that. And of course, the big one goes after Playboy for a charity about a breast cancer charity. You went after Playboy for a breast cancer charity that they were hosting. Let me look this up here. Close here. 10 years ago, my aunt lost her fight with breast cancer. And you know what? I could have almost lost my mother to breast cancer, but she saw the signs early, and she immediately went to surgery for it. Okay? I know there's a lot of people, and I know there are probably people in this chat who probably have loved ones, who probably had to suffer through that. Okay? I went in, there was this Overwatch event they did, and I think my all-time favorite Mercy skin is the pink Mercy skin, and I did that, and I bought that skin just because it went towards 100% of the proceeds went towards breast cancer research. So the fucking goal that you have here is so you've already stepped in it with me. So finding that out, you can proudly go fuck yourself. I have zero sympathy for you at this point. I have zero sympathy for you at this point. And of course, the big one, they defend cuties. But my pixels, right? We're the sad, misogynistic incel Game Boys, whatever hell that name is, for standing up for CSM Grape in Sweet Home Alabama fetish games, right? Yeah, it was a grade school insult. It was very much a kindergarten level insult, though. So, yeah, you wanted that hit, that hit a little hit of it. When I found that out, I was like, that hit a little nerve with me. That hit a little nerve with me. So, Ellis Kennedy, and so I responded to that, and also responded to a little try to be snarky about little snark brag that they were snark little grazing tweet, and I was like, yeah, I responded to that. But here, this is the tweet that ended up shutting the comments down in real time. I saw this before we went live. I saw this before we went live. They locked the comments. We locked the comments. I was like, oh yeah. So to summarize, and for our own records, Savvy's big exposés apparently intended to intimidate and silence us while riling up a gaggle of rabid followers melting after losing access to all their Grape, Sweet Home Alabama, and CSN games consist of, okay, so in the first paragraph, in the first line of sentence, in the very first line, in the very, very first line, we haven't even gone through the whole tweet yet, but in the very first line,
hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
So we haven't even started the tweet yet, and we're already on the first line. On the first line. On the first line, everything you say afterwards is immediately discarded. On the first line, you can't help yourself. Whoa, riling up a gaggle of rabid followers. No, people are exposing what you're doing to light, and you're coming out, and you're basically having a crash out right now. You are basically having a crash out right now. You're basically, so the first line, already the first line in. The first line in, bro.
Oh my God.
The first line in, baby. We ain't even started yet. Woo! Oh, man. How much you want to bet I'm probably going to get blocked? How much you want to bet that she probably sees this and I'm going to get blocked by the end of the day today? I love it. So I love it. Anyway, but But basically, what this is basically a showing of they don't like the light shined upon them. Now they're scouring like cockroaches. So false accusations of that word, plus defense of pedocriminals made against me and my colleagues based initially on a composite of screenshots that had no connection. Actually, there was a connection. You go out of your full-on thread to defend cuties, then on a poorly comprehended rating of cuties analysis, you are so full of crap. You are so you know what?
They got your ass on camera.
Niggas ain't got me on no fucking camera.
This is the clearest video I've ever seen. This is the most HD shit ever. This is 4K. How did they get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
Comprehension is apparently not their thing. Ridiculing collective stout staff for using infantile schoolyard bully tactics, something well-adjusted, well-healthy individual grow roughly age 15. You're still doing it. You're still doing it. You're still doing it. Infantile schoolyard bully tactics. Can we go back here? Someone reach out to the Game Boys. They need help urgently. Brains rotted from CSM grape in those games. Now they're chasing after women with grape and that were threats. False accusation for holding COS to their attacks because they can't access their CSM grape and Sweet Home Alabama games. But schoolyard using ridiculing the staff for using infantile schoolyard bully tactics. What are we doing here? Like
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Just destroyed. Like you just destroyed your own argument in your first paragraph. This is completely negated because you just went into a little tirade in your first paragraph. You're pathetic. You are this pathetic. You cannot be this pathetic. You cannot be this tone deaf. Oh my god! Either dishonestly or due to lack of comprehension skills. Okay, so here's the backhanded insults. So the insults continue. Either dishonesty or due to lack of comprehension skills. Despite the fact that Savvy has basically pointed out, has full-on proof of every single thing you guys have done. You went out. Dishonesty, right? Dishonesty. So so it's dishonest to point out that you went after a bakery all for a shirt that says we got the best buns in town.
You serious?
Oh my god. Oh my god, you can't be serious. You can't be serious right now. You can't be serious. Oh my god, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Okay, let's continue. Oh. Dishonesty or lack of comprehension skills. That does not seem to be a pat. There does seem to be a lack of comprehension skills, huh? Oh, shit. Guys, This is what you call a crash out in real time. This is a crash out. This is a crash out. This is the mind of a toddler here. This is the mind of a toddler here. Summarizing our campaigns to misrepresent their goals and impacts. No, nothing's been misrepresented. Nothing has been misrepresented whatsoever. E.g., we've never objected to ads because they are too sexy or too raunchy. Are you serious? Where is it? Let me bring this up again. Are you serious? Pulls out the best buds in town staff and their employees complain. Sexualized slogans on staff uniforms leave the unemployed vulnerable to sexual harassment. But never objected to ads because they are too sexy or too raunchy. Hold on. Hang on a second. Hold on. No. I'm supposed to collective shout here. So where's the point? Let me go back to. Let's go to the ads here. So I want you guys to just remember this. So let's see here. Let's start from here. Let's start from here.
Trying to sell books. I mean censor anime. I mean raise taxes. Protect women. Her pinned tweet is, of course, her trying to sell her book, Sex, Dolls, Robots, and Women Hating, about shutting down bars and sex clubs. Interesting. She also takes issue back in 2021, want to call out...
Hold on a second. We have never objected to ads because they are too sexy or too raunchy.
Sexual harassment. Start with your own Champs Change-led shopping centers posting sexist and pornified images of essentially naked women. Unwanted exposure to sexual and pornographic imagery is sexual harassment. This just in, treating women as sex objects doesn't suddenly become feminist act just because the photographer is a woman. So she takes issue with a woman's ability to choose. If I, a female photographer, go to my female friend who's interested in posing a bit risque
we got more.
Just manga and anime existing, mind you. She's not upset about the content of it because she doesn't engage with the content of it. She's upset over something she doesn't understand. Mirroring the previous woman.
And this time, they allowed her to wear a skirt, although still topless, because apparently using women's bodies to sell products works, right? Looks like they haven't read the research that shows ads with sexual objectification don't actually sell more products. Oops. Just a bit of sexploitation courtesy of Maya. Using women's naked body to sell perfume. Let's wrap her in a ribbon, as if she's an actual object. Even Air France does it. For only €49, you can book pretty in a...
Hey, guys, remember. Summarizing our campaigns to misrepresent goals and impact, e.g., parentheses, we have never objected to ads because they are too sexy or too raunchy. How do you explain this then? Huh? How do you explain this?
God, you can't make this shit up.
What's up? Can't make this up. You are so full of it. All right. Oh, you can quote tweet. You can proudly quote tweet. But you know, they've never objected to ads. When it's blatant, when it would show blatantly right in your face. When it's so freaking blatant. You are colossal hypocrites. And portraying Playboy as a victim in response to our campaign about Score exposing the Poontang's sex shop chain attempting to whitewash itself by hijacking a well-respected breast cancer charity. Portraying Playboy as a victim in response to our campaign exposing the Poontang sex shop chain attempting to whitewash itself by hijacking a well-respected breast cancer chain. Whitewash itself? Okay, you know what? I can use this now. I can happily use this quote now. I can happily use this quote now. So whitewashing itself, apparently, calling out a Poontang sex shop for whitewashing itself by hijacking a well-respected breast cancer charity. I'm sorry.
Okuyasu, I heard it as clear as day. This sick fuck said the N-word. I just remembered I have a meeting at 8:30. You're racist!
That's an Okuyasu here. So let's do a little look up, shall we? So, National Charity for Breast Cancer. So, for 6 years running, so let's go to the collective sale. Let's go to this shit show website. So, for 6 years running, we have exposed Honey Bridget exploiting breast cancer for profit this year. The Playboy-owned sex shop continued to exercise breast cancer by presenting its detection and productifying fancy for men's sexual gratification. With the following ad campaigns displayed in the shop front windows on social media. Pairing breast cancer with sexual objectification is a classic example of pinkwashing, a term used to describe companies that distribute a profit and empathy. You just said whitewashing. You dumbass. Sorry. You just said whitewashing. So now it's pink wash. Which is it? So because a Poontang, an organization that you guys don't like, is doing something to support breast cancer awareness. Because you don't like that, and to you the sexual objectification, you goes out of your way to try to shut that down, right?
You stupid.
You're stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. Okay, you're stupid. All right. You stupid. Okay, you got me. Congratulations. You went to your stupid ass site. By the way, shame that went over our heads. A symptom of poor research / comprehension. Here's the backhanded insults again. Here's the backhanded insults again. Here we go. Here we go. You can't help yourself, can't you, Kennedy? You cannot help yourself now, huh? You can't help yourself. I asked Savvy to leave my page once, but this person returned to hurl more abuse and false accusations. No, it's pointing out exactly what you guys are doing. It's showing everyone in the mirror what you guys are doing. So it pointed out how it's false accusations. So if you against me and my colleagues, riling up followers, another way to rabid frenzy upon an onslaught of abusive falsehoods. Get the hell out of here with that. Get out of here with that. All because men lost their access to immersive CSAM, Sweet Home Alabama, and grape Poontang. We're calling you out. People are criticizing you because we know exactly where this leads to. Because you are cry bullying. You are You are going after payment processors, which in turn, you're definitely going after people's livelihoods and trying to get everything that you don't like shut down. So let's not call it what it is. This is very much what this group is very much anti-male. This is, Elizabeth, this is sex negative feminism in full effect right here. I would argue that this is more fourth wave feminism in full effect. So you go back to your little middle school insults right here, all because men lost their access to CSM, Sweet Home Alabama, and Great Poontang. Kitty, you're a sad, pathetic individual. You are a sad and pathetic individual. Oh, you have no ground to stand on. You have no moral high ground at this point. You have zero. All because we held companies and enabling profiting from this trade to no terms and at conditions. No, you went after you are trying to get stuff banned. And when people call you out, you actually go after them too. We have a history of that, don't we? When women, by the way, when women call you out, when even abuse victims will call you out, you either ignore them, block them, or in Savvy's case, you call her a man twice. Using mafia tactics to manipulate and basically bully companies into doing your bidding is not what you call profit, holding companies and holding companies to accountability. When people we're exposing the grift. People are exposing the lies. And people are downright saying, you're not going to push us. You're not going to tell us what we can't spend our money on. You're not going to tell people. You don't have the authority on that. You don't have a moral ground here. All of that was thrown right out the window a long time ago. You are not moral arbiters. Thank you, Elizabeth. So miss me with that. Miss me with that shit. If people are saying you, I know, I probably misconstrued my words when I say that you are not going to use those kind of mafia tactics to bully people to bully and push people around, telling them that what they can't and can't consume in their media. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you want it all banned worldwide. That's exactly what you're doing. All in some kind of all in a cover-up of protecting women and abuse victims, right? Do this person's lack of self-control and respect for boundaries. Fuck you. Ask them to kindly leave my page was, even inviting them to have a last word. And the point was misconstrued and led to another vicious tirade against me. No, it was legitimate criticism. It was holding up a mirror right in front of you. Our message was reinforced and amplified in a way I couldn't have achieved myself. So I want to say thanks, Savvy. Now kindly leave my page. No, we're not going to leave your page. So, but kindly, Kennedy, if you're actually looking at this video, hello, I look forward to your block. And kindly,
you just want to say fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck fuck you.
Hi. Don't worry, I'll probably be blocked soon. Send the video to them. I'll look forward to it. Because you're not proving anybody. All you're doing is proving everybody right. You're proving what everybody says about you right. You wanted the spotlight, and guess what? Now the spotlight's on you. This is what you asked for. And yes, people are going to remember and make sure that you're not going to try to push this any further, because we know exactly where this leads to. And for anyone, and I mean anyone, to come in and tell me it's not a big deal. Okay, tell me it's not a big deal when they soon come after your media, when they soon come after content that you enjoy. Tell me then it's not a big deal, right? Tell me it's not a big deal when you're going to start seeing more and more games be censored, more and more stuff having to be censored and having to be taken down because of the sensibilities of these people, of this fucking group. Because they have to be they have to use because they have to resort to payment processors as a mafia tactic, as freaking leverage. Tell me it's not a big deal when they start using people's livelihoods as leverage. When you start going after people's livelihoods because you want this piece of content taken off the internet. Please tell me it's not a big deal then. Tell me it's not a big deal when their next targets are something like GTA or Cyberpunk to try to get those deplatformed, the same way they try to get Detroit Become Human deplatformed. Tell me it's not a big deal then. Tell me why it shouldn't matter then. Why I shouldn't care about this. Because it's that old saying. They come after one thing, I didn't speak up. They come after another thing, I didn't speak up. They come after something I like, and then I speak up, but by that time, it's already too late. So no, I'm not going to stop talking about this because this is important. Because this is censorship. This is censorship. This is bullying tactics here. And you're playing the victim. You are playing the victim. You are the definition, collective shout, and everybody involved in this is the textbook definition of a cry bully. Because they don't know when to stop. When they think they're a hammer, everything around them is a nail. That's how they think themselves, because they don't know when to stop. Because once they take another W, they take more W's, and then they're going to keep doing it more and more. That's just going to buoy them to have that much more power and influence. The only person who dictates what content you want to consume, what content that you want to see, what you want to spend your money on is you. Nobody else is. And yeah, I find it hilarious. I find it very interesting that you not even once even name any of the games that you got banned on Steam, by the way. And this is a reply to Savvy's tweet. You have hundreds of people versus thousands more pushing back because you want to chase fiction while in text while defending cuties of all things. You want to tell women what to do, how to think, what to wear, what to consume. You actively work against women like me. Tell us we're stupid or label us as a man because you can't imagine a woman speaking against you, attacking bakeries, lip gloss, makeup ads, and women choosing clothing you don't like. None of that stops rape and abuse illegals in UK or anywhere. Right. You don't want to bring that up. Sam, you don't want to bring that up now. We don't want to bring that up. You don't want to bring that up, do you? You really, really don't want to bring that up. You really don't want to bring that up because that's a no-no, especially around these parts talking about that. But cutting off support to breast cancer charities because you don't like the company doing it while defending cuties is wild behavior. You lot are sick and will not control narratives. You won't call for a ban when real children are made to dance, when hundreds of little girls audition for their roles, their routines recorded and kept most likely, but damn, there's a fictional anime girl with some fan service. That is hell on earth to you hags. You know what, Savvy? Savvy, that Savvy, I know you don't watch this, but in case you come around this, let me give you a Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. That's a Don DeMarco tweet right there. This is absolute cinema right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolute cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolute cinema. Okay, I need to probably make a chibi emoji of that. Absolute cinema. Wow. Just wow. Like I said, it's the blatant hypocrisy of the matter. One thing's not okay, but we want to go after fictional characters. We're going to go after pixels on a screen. We want to go after a fictional anime girl with some fan service, right? Because that's what's next, right? You want to label, it's the whole thing with the antis. You want to label anime as childlike. You have such a bad habit of doing that. These people have such a bad habit of labeling that as childlike somehow. Like, for real. Piss off, man. So kindly, get effed. We're not going to leave your page. People are going to keep speaking up about you. And by the way, Haley, if you're not subscribed to, I'm going to put another channel. If you guys are on Twitter, do yourself a favor, subscribe to Haley, or follow Haley on Twitter, please. She's base as F. Haley makes a great post here, all because men lost access to their grape and Sweet Home Alabama games. That's a lie. It's a calculated smear tactic meant to deflect criticism and demonize anyone who pushes back. You're getting dogpiled because you defend a film that sexualizes and exploits real children, yet you wanted Detroit Become Human banned for supposedly depicting child abuse and violence against women. You're getting dogpiled because you call attractive female characters poontangified and sexist and claim they stem from a culture that grooms girls. You're getting dogpiled because you believe you have moral authority to dictate what's sexualized and exploitation in anime games while defending actual exploitation on screen. You masquerade as advocates for women, yet you shame our bodies and deny our biology, spew sexist nonsense, and push a narrative rooted in judgment and control. Your hypocrisy is beyond monumental. Spare us the sanctimonious ramblings. You lost all credibility. Okay, you know what? That's a Don Marco. Hang on a second. Let me hang on a second. Haley, Miss Haley, Miss, you deserve a Don DeMarco right there. Don DeMarco. That's a monster kill right there. That is a monster kill. That is a freaking monster kill. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm sorry. I love that. I love this comment so much. Hold on. I love this. I'm saving this. I am saving this in my meme pile. I love this comment so much. I'm saving this one. I need to screen cap this. I need to put this on a picture frame. This is sorry. 1 second. No, I need to save this one because this is the greatest response. I'm just gonna put that's a Don DeMarco tweet right there. It's just like me and Cole. Just that's a monster kill right there. That is a headshot right there. That's a headshot. that is a straight up headshot right there. But no, that is a wonderful response, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, but by the way, yeah. So before I went live, she actually limited the replies. She actually limited the replies. That is a chef's kiss. That is a chef's kiss right there. Call the medics. Call 911. Stop. 911. I like to report a murder if you go to murder because it's a murder. Oh man. Shit, bro. That's a monster kill, bro. But no, Haley's response is just absolute is a chef's kiss. Like oh man, I'm gonna remember that one. But no. So she locked her replies. Let's go over the let's take a look at the quote tweets real quick. Oh, there has to be. Oh, there's no hidden replies. See, there was one of the tweets from them, and I saw the hidden replies, and I was like, oh snap. So we're gonna go to Mab Savvy's. Yeah, Cope Harder. Yes, protecting people from infamous CSAM games like SCP Containment Breach. Huh. Everyone that is part of a collective shout not only supported, defended that, but they're all that because they defend that. Okay. To summarize, video games bad. This word is good. So you and your other are defending the sexualization of little girls. That's what it sounds like to me. Coward, close replies because nothing shows more commitment than improving closing your eyes and returning to the curated echo chamber of equally misguided virtue signaling keyboard outraged Karens. How about you fight this and let video game? How about you fight this and let video? Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? You sir, deserve a Don DeMarco just for that. You deserve a Don DeMarco just for that. Oh. Melbourne's. Oh, what is this? The Australian government is paying for a baby bonus for late term.
Oh, my leg! My leg!
Emotional damage.
Wow. Wow. Oh, gee. Yikes. That is a
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
okay. 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 You won't say anything about that, huh? Whew. Okay. Ooh, wee. Wee. Ooh. Ooh, that's a little heavy. Ooh, that's a little heavy. So let's end the show with this. Immediately turn. This is Savvy's reply, by the way. Immediately turns off comments, but makes the mistake of quote tweeting me without addressing a single point. You already lost, but let's dance. You open this usable, to your own words, I have referred to as a gaggle of gooses. Guys, I'm afraid, guys, this might be age restricted because I'm afraid what I'm about to read is going to be a murder. Basically, this is going to be a monster kill. So get ready. You refuse to acknowledge I, a woman, which you misgendered on your website and implied I was a man, which is punishable by Aussie law, by the way, did disagree with you.
Oh my God!
Oh boy. I didn't do that. I never once used those screenshots that are unrelated to each other. The other people did. They do not appear in a single complaint of mine. I have chose to stick to using your own words against you and ask questions. You went after a bakery for text lip gloss, for sexualized lip gloss, and take pride in sending off emails and harassing businesses. You lot admit in your own tweets that you harass low-level staff department at your stores over ads and posters again. All I did was post your own words. You're the ones plugging your ears going la, 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 like kids. Yeah, that's basically what Savvy's been doing this entire time, is basically using their own words against them. Using their own words again. You've attached multiple screenshots of multiple screenshots of Collective Shout members doing exactly what you claim you did not. So this is very much the Alyssa. What was that article that got her famous? Oh yeah, the whole Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what everybody thinks they do. Yeah, guess what, Collective Shout? You're doing you're doing exactly what we see you're doing. These are some of what your cult bitched about, all because too sexy. You double down and bring in whitewashing. Oof, now I know you. Now I know you're old because that word ain't used to describe that anymore. So you stand by bullying companies out of raising money for breast cancer charities because you don't like them. Very cool. You keep saying men lost access. Hi, hello, woman here, disagreeing with you. Stop deflecting to men. You are taking products women make, women consume. You always ignore that. They always deflect to men. That's the one thing you got to notice, that they always deflect to men. They never address the fact that some of those quote unquote content that you're trying to take off the internet were made by women. So I wonder if it's internal. I wonder if it's for people like Ellis Kennedy. It's just nothing but internalized misogyny, right? Damn shit. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, get a lot out of me. I mean, a rule was changed, I added. It was not their rules, it was added. Then those games were removed despite not violating USA laws. You did not hold anyone to their terms of service when you chased after a bakery for the crime of texting a shirt that says best buns in town. They went after a bakery that just said, we got the best buns in town, and equating that to young employees vulnerable to sexual harassment. Just remember that. I'm going to save this image. Just remember that. You are now attempt to use my own cheeky tag of thank you for amplifying the message, but it doesn't work because people are reporting you to the politicians, agencies to investigate, and more. You lack creativity and intelligence. You are unprepared to deal with someone like me. You cannot stick to facts. You cannot stick to the topic. You defend the existence of cuties while wanting to ban fiction, and you cannot answer why you wanted to Detroit Become Human ban because you are defending cuties. Real human girls dancing sexually under the guise of beneficial discomfort. Detroit Become Human didn't glorify child abuse that you claim it promoted. Okay, that's not Don DeMarco. You and your chuckle. You know what? Yeah.
Yo, shout the season, man. Shout the season, man.
That's funny. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna use that from now on. You, your chuckle fuck friend, really screwed up replying to me. You put up your BS into a public forum. If you can't handle that, do not virtue signal. I will be there to chase your behavior on your own words. I don't make up anything. I just need to keep finding what you lot say, and you do the rest yourselves. That's what it all is. It's holding up a mirror. It's holding up a mirror. That's what it is. You're just holding up a mirror and showing them the exact words they said. Enjoy forever having to lock your threads because you don't want to engage with anyone showing your own words. No. What is likely going to happen, Savvy, is they're probably just going to run off the blue sky like cowards and try to go off on there. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go that tactic to just do that shit on blue sky. Well, guess what? If you decide to, run off the blue sky with your tail between your legs, guess what? We can see your post on blue sky too. You wanted the spotlight, collective shout. You're getting the spotlight. And now everybody has got a microscope. Everybody is looking at you with a microscope right now. Everything you say and do is now under a microscope. You can't do this in secrecy anymore. Because your first mistake was to go out of the way censoring people, go out of the way censoring content, and then bragging about it, claiming that it helps actual victims. So no, I'm going to continue talking about this. I'm going to continue bringing this up because this is important. This company, this group, these individuals have that much power and influence to dictate what you can and can't consume, what you can and can't buy. So yes, we will keep talking about this because this is important. Because you're not going to push us around. You're not going to push people around. You're not going to use these pathetic middle school tactics. Scratch that, elementary school tactics. You have zero moral high ground. You don't have any ground to stand on. So continue to run your mouth and lock your comments because you're going to continue to get ratioed every time. This is what you wanted, right? Well, we're giving it to you. You wanted this spotlight, now we're giving it to you. And since you love being in the spotlight so much, now people are bringing up to the politicians. People are bringing up to the agencies to have you investigated. There's now pushback against payment processors for what you did. I'm not going to stop talking about this. I'm going to bring this up because you're going after a hobby. You're going after something that I actually enjoy because it doesn't stop with you. Because it doesn't stop. You've never once explained why you thought it was okay to go after Detroit Become Human, but yet you won't say. But yet you'll try to defend something like Cuties, right? You know, you're probably right. Your 15 minutes of fame is up, but every time you do something, people are going to point this out. People are going to investigate. You're not going to have this much power over us. You're not going to just have this power. You're thinking that this is some kind of 1984 shit going on here. You don't have that much. You don't have that power. And I will stand by that. You've exposed yourselves as an absolute disgusting group. A group that clearly that doesn't claim what they say they're doing. This is all power to you. This is all power. You want power and control. And when people expose that power, you scare around like roaches. You play the victim card every chance you get. I hope, and like I said, the whole thing about the games before, I hope the developers of those games, that which you attempted to push to get banned off the platform, I hope they're putting together some kind of class action lawsuit against you. Because if you get to the point where you're going to take away, trying to go after people's livelihoods, people's sources of income, what keeps a roof over their head, what keeps them afloat because you don't like the content, that's where it stops. That's where you stepped over it. And that's where the pushback is going to happen. The people criticize you are not a collective unlike you. They don't think like a collective unlike you. They're not a hive mind like you. The mask has been lifted. And we're seeing you exactly for who you truly are. So I am taking a huge stand against you. And if I'm the only person who's still going to be talking about it, that's fine. Because this matters to me. Because bringing a light to this does matter to me. Anyway, I'm out. Smack the like button, make it jiggle. Smack the subscribe button, make it jiggle. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys. Thank you for the subscription. Let me go highlight this comment at the very top here, because I'm already over 2 hour mark. I need to get ready for work. Where is it? Where's that subscriber? Who subscribed to me? Where are you? 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 Oh, Darkzis. Darkzis, thank you so much for subscribing. I saw the notification, and I'm gonna end the. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Anyway, guys, I'll be back Friday. Well, maybe if there's some more information, there's some more stuff going up with this whole collective shout and payment process stuff, we will talk about it on a Friday, and I'll keep posting about it on the notification tab, on the community tab as well. So I'm gonna have a short later this morning as well. So definitely check that out. Anyway, guys, I'm Makini, 90 Art Sermon Illustrator, And thank you for tuning in to the Wednesday edition of Makini in the Morning. Until then, stay cute, stay sexy, have fun. Take care. Much love. Never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in your video games, especially because of people like L.S. Kennedy and Collective Shout. They don't determine what you can. They don't get to dictate what you can and can't consume, what you can and can't enjoy. I know, Sean. It's just no. I know. I'm sorry. No, I know plenty of people are going to talk about this. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know there's plenty of channels going to be talking about this. It's just, you got to keep the pressure on. There's going to be plenty of people. These people, everybody's talking about this. We need to keep putting the pressure on them. So, my bad, Sean. That was my bad. Sorry about that. But no, I'm not the only one talking about this. Everybody's talking about this, and I hope they continue to, because this is putting the pressure on them. This is putting the pressure on payment processors and such like that. And people are sick of it, and I am personally sick of this, and this matters a lot to me, man. So, again, I apologize. My bad. But never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in video games, because in this day and age, beauty and attractiveness is now a rebellion, is now counterculture. Just put that on a shirt. Beauty is counterculture now. I love y'all. And above all else, never stop drawing. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And Dark Zest, thank you for, once again, thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. And speaking of best buns in town, we'll end it with what I think is maybe not the best buns in town, but definitely one of the best bakeries in town. I love y'all. Peace.
Cute, sexy, and fun. And that is definitely the best way to describe our channel members too. We'd like to thank everyone in the CSF Nation for your incredible support. Join the channel for as low as $1 a month to get access to exclusive art drops that Makini drops every 2 months for his channel members. And all your support goes to helping out the channel and helping Makini put out the best content he can for you all to view and you all to enjoy. We appreciate all of your support, and we also appreciate your support as well. CSF Nation for life. Mwah! Gracias. Thank you for tuning in to Makini in the Morning and getting your morning started off on the right foot with us. If you enjoy this program, please smack that like button and make a jiggle. Share the show out to everyone you know. Tell your friends, tell everyone, tell everyone. Become a channel member for as low as $1 a month. You want to support Makini further, and if you want to see more content from Makini and help him reach his 6K subscriber goal, hit that subscribe button. He would really, really appreciate it. I am Marisa Tali, producer and weather girl for this very program, and we all wish you a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. We will see you all next time here on Makini in the Morning. Mwah! Makini in the Morning is filmed before a live studio audience at Makini Studios in Arcadia Village's South Tower, right here in Pacific City. We know that you guys love waking up with us here on Makini in the Morning, but if you would like to actually be in the live taping of Makini in the Morning, all you have to do is visit youtube.com/Makini90 or call 765-9077 toll free for free tickets. We would love to see you here in the audience for our next Makini in the Morning live show. Makini in the Morning is produced by Silver Night Productions with Makini Charles Productions in association with and Miss Lazapa Television and Makara Banks Entertainment, and is distributed by CSF Nation Domestic Television Distribution.